Well, hey, bitch. Look, we got to talk about our shows this week, okay? Y'all know this is the end of the week review. So let's go ahead and get into Insecure, Queens, Our Kind of People, and The Game, okay? Y'all had better been a downloaded Paramount Plus, okay? So we can talk about the game. Let's get into it. All right, y'all. We're about to go ahead and start off with the first show, which is Insecure. Okay, let's get into it real quick. So you know that they had Beach Day, right? So everybody links up with Beach Day, link up for Beach Day. You got Issa and Molly, you got Nathan and his good people, and some other girl that ended up coming that was kind of like getting on people's nerves or whatever. She was high key, over there flirting with Nathan or whatever. But I'm like, okay, then, girl, whatever. So they're at Beach Day. Issa links up with Nathan. They both was acting weird because the last time they linked up, they ended up kissing when she asked him to come over, but then she started crying out of nowhere and stuff. So that made everything awkward, and now the awkwardness is carried over. Okay, so there's that. Okay, I really hated the interaction between them at the bar specifically because they ended up having like an earthquake, so everybody left the beach. They was going to close it anyway, and so they headed over to a bar or whatnot. So everybody goes over to the bar, and the interaction between the both of them was a little awkward, and it was awkward because of the antics of Issa crying while he was there, but also at the same time because old girl, I can't even think of the girl's name. I ain't even write her name down, but one of their homegirls was over there flirting with Nathan, so she thought that they may be a thing. So when they was in the car on the way to the bar, she was texting Molly. Issa and Molly were texting, and Molly just bust out and asked, "Oh, girl, like, is you over there smashing Nathan? Like, what's up with that?" And the girl was like, "Girl, no, he's not my brother. It ain't nothing like that." And I'm like, "Girl, we gonna see, because everybody loves seeing somebody they brother, honey." Okay, then, dear, we gonna see. All right, so let's go ahead and move on. I didn't like the interaction at the bar because they both tried to downplay it and make it seem like they didn't really like each other like that, and they was just friends. And I was like, can we keep it real? Can we keep it honest in this mug, please, somebody? I like Nathan. I would like to see how the interaction and the relationship will flow between he and Issa. I wouldn't mind it. I feel like they actually could possibly work. I don't know. I guess it's the awkwardness of both of them that may actually make them end up having like a good relationship. But we've seen her go back and forth with Lawrence so often, and we see her just smash on random dudes. And now I want to see what it's gonna look like if she actually try her hand with Nathan. I want to hear y'all thoughts about that. Nathan cousin comes, right? So he brings his wife, his cousin brings the wife, but the interaction between Nathan and the wife was very awkward, and I did not really understand why that was happening until later on, right? Later on in the show, we end up kind of learning some things. We learned that Velma, which was the wife, ended up kicking him out, but we come to find out it was never really Velma. It was really his cousin. His cousin made a decision to kick him out because he just felt as though Nathan was being disrespectful and irresponsible when it came to their household. So he felt like, you a manic or whatever, and you just can't be here. So he didn't want him at the house anymore. So once Nathan found that out, he really took it hard. He felt the way about that. And he ended up kind of like walking off. They was trying to get into a party, right? But that's when his cousin decided to leave because I guess things was just taking too long. So when Issa walked up to check on Nathan, Nathan decided to walk off. And I was like, Issa, you better not let this man walk off by himself. You better go over there and be with this man. Go over there and get with that man, and don't let him be by himself right now. No, ma'am, go get him. And I'm glad that she did. So she caught up with him, she caught up with him. So they're hanging out with each other. She just checking on him, seeing how he's doing. He wanted his family to get the opportunity to see that he's doing better. He know he wasn't in a great state at the time. I don't think they knew a lot about his mental state or whatever he's going through. I don't think they knew a whole lot about it, but he has improved a lot. And he wanted to be able to like let them know that like I don't really need y'all for a whole lot of nothing. Like I'm doing good, I'm doing fine or whatever. So it kind of like hit him hard when he found out that Thomas was the one that wasn't really featuring him. And Velma said that they could just blame her, since she's the outsider of the family, just put it off on her and she'll be okay with it. And she just accepted it all these years or however long, when in all honesty, it was Thomas. And I feel like that says a lot about you though, Thomas. I feel away. Okay, because you coming off as a punk that you would be okay with putting this mess off on your wife when it's you that really got the issue, then just say that. But anyway, all in all, Issa opened up and told Nathan, like, listen, I really don't want to just be your friend. I want to be more than that. He was like, well, I want to be more than that too. I ain't trying to be your friend either. And I was here for it, honey. And then, they ended up kissing and holding each other. And I was like, I like this setup much better. I wanted them to do it at the bar, right? Because it was so awkward. I was like, just tell each other now. But I liked the scene at the end when they ended up expressing how they felt about each other or what they wanted from each other and how it overlooked the city and stuff. I like that scene much, much better, much, much intimate, right? So that was cute, honey. So y'all let me know y'all thoughts about Insecure. I want to know if you guys can actually see a future with Issa and with Nathan, if you wanted to even see them get together at all, or you didn't want to see them get together. I want to know y'all thoughts about Issa and Nathan. Or do you think they not gonna really get together for real? Because Lawrence probably gonna come in the picture. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts on that. And we're gonna go ahead and switch gears, and we're about to get into what is this? Queens. Let's talk about it, okay? First of all, they opened up the show with Muffin's song called I'm That Chick. I said, no, you're not. What is this? Okay. What is this mess? I did not like it. I was cringing. When I went back and watched the show for the second time, I said, you know what? This song really ain't that bad. Like, there are parts towards the end that it's like, girl, y'all could have left that off the track. But overall, I was like, you know what? The song really ain't that bad though, right? But all in all, it's funny that she has the song called I'm That Chick, because she's really questioning whether or not she is that chick. Right? She's trying to find out what her next hit is going to be. She's trying to be the person that's talked about the most. She heard that Doja Cat is doing this, so she decided herself to go and get a unicorn, put it at the top of her mother's head or something like that. I said, girl, what? She done went and got some little thing. I said, what is going on with this girl? She need to take a break. She need to take a break. She need to take a breather. To be honest, I know she has that character name, Muffin, or at least her rapper name, but I feel like she should rebrand herself and come out as Lauren. Y'all see how many times P. Diddy done sat up here and changed his name? Okay, that man went from Sean Combs, P. Diddy Combs, Puff Daddy, Puff to Love. And don't nobody even call him Love, even though he clarified that being his name a few years ago, child, or a year or so ago, girl. That ain't, girl, bye. Don't nobody call him Love. But he's changed his name multiple times. So I feel like, girl, maybe you should try that too. But that's that. So the ladies got another show that they're prepping for, as they always have a show that they prepping for, okay? Brianna's still dealing with the death of her husband as well as his mistress, okay? Y'all know the mistress is carrying his child. So she's trying to figure out, girl, what is you finna do? What you gonna do with this baby? You gonna keep it? You're not gonna keep it. I kind of feel like Brianna F, whatever she gonna do. I understand that child is gonna be a sibling to your kids, but that show, I feel like she shouldn't have to be there for this woman so much. Like, no, some of this stuff she gonna have to deal with on her own, because she didn't mind smashing him on her own or doing whatever she did. So it's like, I'll be here, you know what I'm saying? Like, I always have the door open for your child to interact with my children and have a relationship, but I'm not gonna treat you like you're one of my kids, my young teenagers, and I'm just gonna be here holding your hand. That's dead. I'm like, girl, where in real life would this be okay? Like, no, ma'am. Those are my thoughts on that. Later on, we can see where Brianna done got it in, honey. She done went to the club, right? What's his name? 5-year-old foreign was up in the club. Who was eyeing him? Valeria. Valeria was eyeing him down. So he came over to the table, but he was like, move this way, man, because I'm trying to get over here. Okay. So that's what he did. He went over there to Miss Brianna, trying to hook up with her, gave her the number, his number or whatever like that. And later on that night, we saw her pull up to that hotel, and she got it in, and she ended up leaving. I was shocked, because I feel like, dang, girl, it's so soon. Your husband just passed. Like, it's so soon. You sure you want to do all that? But her husband was either. He wasn't SHI or nothing. So he was getting it in while he was here and while they was married. So now that he's gone and she's a widow, I guess she could do whatever it is she want to do. And that's what she did. And I feel like if Fabio may get hooked, I feel like this may not be our last time seeing him. He may try to pop up again, and she's going to be like, calm down. Like, right? So there's that. Later on, we can see where the mistress is debating about whether or not she wants to keep the child, right? So she talks to Brianna about it. Brianna tells her, listen, I can't make that decision for you. You got to make that on your own. So how you want to move, what you want to do, that's going to be on you, dear. And so the girl started coming to terms with the fact that she can't keep the child. She's young. Nobody really knows she's pregnant. So she'd rather go ahead and get rid of it. She asked Brianna if she'll accompany her to the, clinic. And Brianna was like, yeah, I'll accompany you, girl. I'll go ahead and be there, right? Well, when she get there, Miss Girl did not show up. She go to the girl house. They said, oh, she ain't here. The girl, Brianna said, well, I'll wait then, girl. It ain't no problem. They said, yes, it is a problem because she packed up all her SHI and she gone. And she ain't tell us where she gone. She just not here. So I was like, girl. Child, we guess. We hope she was really pregnant, honey, but let us go and move on. Naomi. Y'all know Naomi finally told her daughter that Eric is her dad. And now that Naomi and her daughter is getting to know her dad, Naomi is getting a bit jealous because she feels like she may end up being replaced, right? Which is not the case. So as Eric is spending time with his daughter on a lunch date, he ends up getting his necklace snatched by some teenagers, but he thinks that it's one of his nemesis. So he goes to see his nemesis, who happens to be Jadakiss, and Jadakiss was like, I ain't got nothing to do with your mother chain, so you can get up out of here before I put my paws on you and your daughter. I was like, ooh, Jada, calm down, right? Because he was ready for that action. But I would like to know kind of like what happened between y'all, why y'all don't like each other, what went down, right? So come to find out, the daughter learned that it was a TikTok challenge that these kids were doing, running around snatching the chains off of famous people. So her dad ended up giving her the background history on that chain, and then they pulled up at these teenagers' houses, and they ran up in there and got their chain. Okay, so she got the chain back, and now the chain is hers. So there's that. Valeria, they supposed to be practicing for their upcoming show. Valeria done went and got her some butt shots. At first, she was thinking about getting shots in her face, but then she promised the girl she wouldn't do that, and then she went and got her ass done. I said, what? Now, why would you go and do that? That didn't even add up. Valeria is really having some issues where obviously it must be stemming from her mom or whatever her past is, of her just feeling like she's not enough or something. Like she's just going through a lot. She got a lot on her mind. She's going through a lot. That's all I got for Valeria. Let's go on to Jill. Jill got on my nerves. Jill around here acting like she's that girl. Okay, clearly, Miss Muffin girl, you're not that girl. Cause Jill, the one over here, like I'm that chick. She the one who thinks she that chick the way she walking around here, right? Y'all know Jen came out and opened up to the fact that she's a lesbian. She told her husband that, and she also went on stage and opened up to the world on a song. Ever since she did that, things have been on the up and up for her, right? She started dating the reporter girl. She kind of dropped her girl that she broke up with her husband for. She left that girl alone. I feel like that lady is going to come back around. I feel like she's going to come back around at a later time in the show. And I feel like Jill is going to need her, to be honest, because I don't trust the reporter girl that she's dating. I don't trust Miss Girl. So Jill, the reporter girl wants Jill to be bigger than the group. She's talking about Jill and the Queens. And it's like, girl, no, you mean just Queens, because it ain't no Jill and the Queens. Like, don't do that. Now, Jill ain't even been rehearsing with the ladies like she needs to, but she can go and rehearse and perform one of their songs with some drag queens, which I thought was highly disrespectful. One of the drag queens had on blonde weave, and I said, girl, is that Eve? Well, that don't look like Wendy. Eve. Is Eve that tall? Is Eve that thick? Like, is that Eve? Girl, I was trying to make it out and kind of find out, girl, it wasn't, because they cut the Eve. They cut the Brianna. She was just standing out there in the crowd. I said, oh, girl, no, ma'am. What is this? Right? So the ladies wanted to support Jill with this show, but at the same time, they felt disrespected because out of all of the songs that y'all could have done together, you're going to perform our song with them. And I did feel like that was, I feel like that was messed up, because she got her own, like, you could have just did something else. Like, these ladies, you didn't even consult with them to see how they will feel about this. So, I ain't like that. Like, just at least ask them and see how they felt. They would have told you no, but how you got time to perform their songs with somebody else, but you don't got time to go to practice to work on the songs that you have to, and the routines for what you have to go in. I ain't like that, girl. I was like, what the hell Jill got going on, honey? But I blame that reporter, because that reporter wants her to be all up here with it, right? Now, later on, we can see where Jill's husband reaches out to her because she's trying to get money out her account. Come to find out, the account is frozen. Now, what was interesting was they cut the camera to the reporter girl, and the reporter girl was sitting in the room when she was talking, and she was kind of like this, like she was listening but still acting like she was working, but I didn't really understand what that was about. That's why I don't trust the reporter girl, and I feel like she's going to try to get Jill so much status and clout so that she can then at a later time try to use that to blackmail her in some capacity. But Jill is so cootie twat whipped that she not paying attention or thinking. I don't know what Jill got going on, but long story short, she tried to get some money out of the accounts, right? Everything is froze. Husband said, no, ma'am, everything is frozen. He said, I had everything available to you when you left me to go be with Tina or whatever the girl name was. Now you with a whole nother woman. And it's like, sir, she left you because she's gay. Okay, she's a lesbian, sir. It wasn't just because she wanted to be with that one lady. Okay, this is her lifestyle, sir. And he just can't seem to let that go, right? So he froze the accounts. So she talked him down and told him to, file for the divorce. He has to let her go. He didn't want to let her go, but she was like, baby, you're going to have to let me go. She was like, you're going to have to do it. So I don't know what you got to do, but you're going to have to make sure that happens. So he said, okay, fine, I'll do that. I'll let you go or whatever, right? So all was well until a later part of the show. First of all, I believe the lady snapped off on Jill because Jill was just acting like she was just all grand. So, she'd been staying in the house with Brianna, and then she decided to leave the house with Brianna. And Brianna was like, girl, I don't want you to go nowhere because I really do need you here. It's like, yeah, she needs you there. She probably don't want to be in her house by herself with all these kids. And she's not ready for that real normal life that's gonna hit her probably at a later time in the show too, that your husband is gone and you just like, this is life. Like, he ain't on no trip, girl. He's gone. What else ended up happening? So y'all know the girl ran off. What's that young lady? The young lady ran off. The side chick, the mistress, she done ran off. And this is when Brianna opens up to Jill to let her know, like, girl, I need you here. I got a lot of stuff going on. This girl done ran off and I don't know where she's at, and I don't know what she's going to do with this baby. I don't know what's happening, right? Because at first I thought the girl was going to ask her if she would have the child. Like, if I have this child, can I give the child up to you? Right. But then she said, now can you go to me to Planned Parenthood? I said, okay, so she really finna, go through it, get rid of the baby. So next thing you know, while Jill and Brianna is talking, who knocks on the door, honey? Their husband. Their husband came to the house, told her he was not letting her go. He ain't finna make no move. He ain't finna do a mother thing, period. And looked like the divorce papers or whatever, he burnt them and sat them outside Brianna's door. I said, not you finna set something on fire and sit it outside the door and mess around and set my house on fire with it. Oh, I'm on your ass, sir. But as soon as he dropped that paperwork that was on fire and ran out, Valeria and Naomi ended up running into the house anyway, so they put it out and came right on in. But that was pretty much everything that happened on Queens, honey. Y'all leave y'all thoughts and comments down below about how you felt about everything and what you think this girl gonna do with that baby. Let me know your thoughts about the suspicious reporter, honey. Okay, now y'all go ahead and chime in on that, and I'm gonna go ahead and switch over to our kind of people. Let's talk about our kind of people, honey. Y'all know Teddy ended up, falling out because, well, really, he was talking to Tyreek, right? And Tyreek wanted to know the truth about his daddy because I've been telling y'all, see, his daddy ain't died how they saying. Then he want to turn around and say his daddy committed suicide. No, his daddy did not commit suicide, baby, because y'all killed that man. That's what really happened. So when Teddy and Tyreek was talking, Teddy tried to comfort him a little bit after he told him that, his dad committed suicide. And Tyreek was like, I don't want you to touch me. And as soon as he did that, but see, mind you, Teddy was already kind of like shaking, fidgeting or whatever. So when Tyreek did whatever he did, it caused Teddy to, fall out or whatever. And we find out this episode that Teddy actually suffered from a heart attack. And, he got the Parkinson's disease. So he really going through it, right? What else ended up happening? He ended up going up to heaven or whatnot to see his brother, talking to his brother, chit-chatting with his brother, talking about who was dad's favorite versus who wasn't dad's favorite. So, they had that conversation. Later on, we could see Teddy's brother with a bullet in his head, like right here in the front toe, and I'm just like, well, who shot him? Was it you, Teddy? who killed your brother, or was somebody else killed your brother? I feel like they probably said that in the previous episode, so I can't recall who killed his brother. But that's what they had going on. So Teddy trying to get his life right. I suppose we're gonna see how that works out, because he told his brother his heart was hurting. Like, of course, you had a heart attack, but I think that it was from other stuff. His brother said, yeah, from everything that you've probably been up there doing. You know, so there's that. Nikki learns about her new dad, you know, at the end of the last episode. She's not really happy with her mom, that she been lying to her all this time. Her mom, her grandma that passed away, and Auntie Piggy, everybody been lying to her about her dad actually being alive and where he is. And to find out that her dad was in jail really makes her even more upset, because now she looks at him like, dang, not only is he my dad, but he a criminal. How embarrassing. So she's hurt by that. Meanwhile, you got Alex, which is the ex-wife to Raymond, out here still running amok in the palace. And she says she's doing it in Raymond's name because, of course, Raymond asked her to come back to do that for him. But now it's like she has her own hidden agenda, her own motives as to why she wants to bring down Teddy. So she already feeling it, baby. Now, she used her status. Y'all know she went to Howard University. She's successful in her reporter role, her media role, or whatever. She used that as leverage so that she could get information on Teddy, only for her to do a press conference at the very end of the, like towards the end of the episode, outing the fact that he has Parkinson's disease. So now that could affect the stakeholders of the company and the faith that they have in him to, you know, continue to get the company to progress. So they're concerned about that. And so now that's an issue for Leah and them to be concerned about. But even with that, she had a separate press conference with Leah earlier that day, where she kind of outed Nate, which happens to be the father of Nikki. She outed Nate and how Teddy got him out of prison and how he's connected to Angela, and that's Nikki's daddy, and like just like all kind of messy stuff, girl. And now because of that, she got Angela on her ass, and I'm so here for it, girl, because I feel like Angela's gonna be one she ain't gonna be seeing coming. Okay, but we'll see how that's gonna play out, girl. Angela caught Alex, right? So after the girl did the press conference and started talking about her daughter's dad and stuff, about him being an ex-con and all this stuff, she was on her ass. So she decided to, you know, head up to the hospital wherever her dad was and stuff. And I'm sure she was coming up with a plan of how she was going to get on her head top. Well, she ended up catching Alex in the car with Raymond, and she caught Alex kissing Raymond. That's because Alex wants Raymond back, because Alex never wanted to leave Raymond to begin with. But little do she know is that, well, now she knows, because Raymond told her, girl, I don't want you. I'm happy with my wife. Like, girl, you coming in here. I only asked you to do one thing. That was help me take this man down, not take down my marriage, girl. So stay away from my family, okay? And let me go on about my business, right? But she's still trying to convince him that she could help him take down Teddy and stuff. So I don't think he completely shot her down on that end, but he doesn't want her to interrupt his family, right? So there's that. And I feel like because, you know, they like to operate in such like prestigious lifestyles, or how people look at them and stuff, when he does get his company Dartmouth or Dermouth or whatever, when he gets that company back, it's probably gonna make him look even better to know that he has his family, and his family is, you know what I'm saying? I think he's worried about his image, which is why he don't want to let her go. I mean, or which I ain't gonna say let her go, but which is why he doesn't want to partake in any extra curricular activities with Miss Alex. But we'll see how long that lasts. Okay, let's keep going here. Okay. Nikki's dad, Nate, cuts off his dreads, and Miss Angela helps him take the dreads off, and they do a whole ritual for it, which was nice. And I was like, brother looks good with or without them dreads, honey. And the body looks just as good. Okay, he still looked as good as he looked when he was on Hit the Flow. And I damn near about hit the flow too, girl. When I saw, like, oh, okay, he look good. All right, fine, that's fine, girl. I'm looking forward to seeing this banter between he and Tyreek over Miss Angela. We love to see it, right? So then Teddy. No, I talked about Teddy because Teddy just went to him and talked to his brother or whatever like that. So while Leah and Angela, which was interesting for me, were getting closer, so were they. So were their daughters, right? So, and Leah is so used to being the only daughter and taking care of everything. So when it came down to her dad being sick, she was more so focused on the things that she had to do. she didn't even consider the fact that she has somebody else that shares in this sorrow with her, right? So with Angela being there, it gave her a bit of comfort to know that she's not in this situation by herself. So they're slowly creating a weird bond, right? And their daughters are doing the same as well, because when Nikki sat down with Lauren read her father's journal to her, which was nice. So it's good. It's good. I still don't trust Lauren though. And Leah, you a little shaky too. But I don't know about Lauren. Lauren gives me hidden agenda. She give me hidden agenda somewhere. So later on, we can see where Tyreek learns details from the housekeeper, right? Because the housekeeper has been there for so long. She knows a lot of people's business, However, it's just some business she don't know. So she told him to go ask Auntie Piggy for a certain business. He wanted to know details about his dad's death, because he learned that his dad never died, how he always thought that he did. And she was like, well, you know, honey, you could ask such and such, but he dead. You know, she said, but he did have a girlfriend. He was like, really? She was like, yeah, you know, Auntie Piggy, the one, Angela Vaughn auntie. He was like, what? So she dated X, Y, and Z. So now he's learning that she's been on this island before and for a long time. So he goes to confront her and ask her, like, hey, do you know a guy named Darius X, Y, and Z? And she was like, Darius. She kind of got shook, but she had to play it off. And she was like, no, I don't know him. He was like, okay, I figured you knew everybody, or you knew a lot of stuff. She was like, no, honey. She was like, you know, if I dated him, you know, I dated a lot of people, because he did call her out for dating him. I dated a lot of people, not just him. You know, I had a whole lot going on. Like, it was a lot. So she played it off. But one thing about Tyreek, he ain't stupid. And he was looking at her like, yeah, she lying. I know something ain't right about this lady. I got my eye on you, Miss Peggy, Miss Piggy, Miss Auntie, whatever your name is this week. I got my eyes on you. And I want Tyreek to keep his eyes on her, because Auntie pissed me off with the fact that she wanted so bad for Angela to keep it real with her daughter about her dad, but you're over here hiding secrets from her. I think you know everything about why her mom went to jail. I think you know so much more than what we may think that you know on the surface. I think it's a lot of stuff. So yeah. So anyway, at the end of the episode, we see her aunt ends up leaving a note, letting her know that she's going to Boston. And she decides to skate out on the plug. So she leaves. And I believe she left because of the conversation she had with Tyreek. And knowing that he knows some information about her and she don't want to be faced with that, which is so funny, because just a few weeks ago, you was on Teddy Head Top and you wasn't ready. You weren't going to leave or go or do anything. You was ready to go to war with Teddy, but now all of a sudden Tyreek know a little something, girl, you decided to leave. So where you going in Boston? Is there somebody you finna go visit or something? What you doing in Boston? They better show us what you doing in Boston, girl. But we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next show, which happens to be The Game. Y'all know I am here for The Game. I hope it does not go anywhere anytime soon. If y'all are not watching it, please watch it so we can keep the show coming. I have thoroughly been enjoying it on Paramount Plus, honey. Here for it. Great show. Let's go ahead and run through these characters and what all they had going on. Tasha Mack trying to hire this white man whose last name is Kincaid. I don't even know what his first name is, but she's trying to go ahead and get him signed to her agency. And it's crazy because Tasha Mack has gotten as much wealth as she has with like 2 clients, I believe. Malik and somebody else. And it's like, Tasha Mack got all this money just off y'all backs. Like, Tasha, we haven't seen you in a minute. You should have way more clients than what you have, right? But I guess she's trying to sign this guy, and he is having second thoughts. So he tells her assistant, which happens to be Brittany Pitts, like, girl, I don't know if I'm going to sign with you. So then she goes over to catch him at the farm, because she like, don't nobody cancel on me and don't nobody play me. Like, you going to sign with me. So she go over to see him. He tells her, like, basically he puts her to work on his farm, milk his cow, run after his pig, and do all this other stuff, right? If she wants to have a conversation about her signing him. So once she do all that work and slave for him, because that's how I feel, just to get him on a contract to help get him some money and her too, he gonna tell her no, he don't think he could do it, because he don't think that she'll be able to get him to $1 billion boys club within a few years. So, you know, Tasha Mack was on his head top, and she pretty much snapped on him and told him, baby, I can get you to $1 billion by the time that you're 25, but you too stupid to realize that because you want to run after these other deals, this big name stuff that's gonna penny pinch you and play you, right? Because I think he wanted to be in the billionaire boys club by the age of 30. And she was like, baby, I can get you there about 25. So I love how she was talking. Real talk. I do feel like if you sign with some of these larger agencies, you ain't the only person that signed. So they're not going to give you a whole bunch of money, but they'll give you a decent amount to keep you coming back. But it ain't a guarantee you're going to make it to the billion, you know what I'm saying, club. But then also, it's not a guarantee Tasha going to get you there either, you know. But I think she got 2 of the top clients in the league anyway. So that should be enough. But there's that. So later on, we see Brittany Pitts, right? Brittany Pitts, girl, you just got out of financial stuff. Why is you not paying attention to how you using your money? That's what I don't understand. She's going to be right back in this situation. Like, just so you know, she ended up making money because now she's doing these events and stuff. And on top of that, she's also the assistant to Tasha Mack. So she's making money now. But what she does is she goes and stay with her homegirl. Y'all know she got a homegirl out there, Raquel, that's a singer. She sees how low budget, I guess you could say, her apartment looks, like how her furniture and stuff look old and stuff. But some people like antique stuff. Okay, not all antique stuff is cheap. Hello? So she didn't like how the house looked, so she wanted to upgrade her house instead of saving that money because that furniture wasn't bothering nobody, and that furniture was doing this job when it was there, and when nobody else complaining, ain't nobody asked you for nothing, girl. So she decided that she wanted to just surprise her homegirl by upgrading her spot. And when she upgraded her spot, she got rid of one of her trunks. She gave it to the Mission, which is like the Goodwill. Girl, they took everything out the trunk and threw it in the trash. And it's like, girl, did you even look in the trunk? Some things are valuable. Some stuff you just can't get back. You just don't upgrade somebody's apartment and their home after being there for what, like maybe a few weeks at this time. You don't do no mess like that. And you don't know where things go. I just felt like she was out of line for that. So they go back to the Mission trying to find everything. The lady told her, girl, that thing probably in the dumpster, honey. We only wanted the trunk. We didn't care about nothing that was inside of it. So they ended up going to the dumpster, crawling in the dumpster, searching for it, couldn't find it, get out the dumpster, sit down and talk. And this is when Raquel opens up to her and lets her know how important the one item she needed, which was the yo-yo, how important it was to her, because she said when they were kids, they didn't have a lot. Her family didn't have a lot like Brittany Pitts, and her mama gave her that yo-yo and told her no matter where she goes, she'll always be there to her, be there with her. She'll always come for her. And just like a yo-yo, you know what I'm saying? It was just like, it was like a perfect symbolism. And in that moment, that's when Brittany had to realize, like, yo, I don't have anything of value from my family. I don't really have anything. So she has to go back and think about that stuff. Because your value is tied to money. And you probably spend money the way that you do because your daddy was a penny pincher and didn't really want to spend a whole lot. So ain't no telling, girl. So she had to think about that. But while they're outside talking, they see this little boy playing with the yo-yo. So they go and approach the boy to get the yo-yo back. Girl, he done cussed the dog out. Cussed them out, told him to kiss his ass and everything. Do you hear me? This little boy, like he probably about 9 years old, girl, 10 maybe. Cussed them the dog out. So then she was gonna get him $20, and he said, "Oh no, you can give me 50." So she kept trying to give him different objects, like, "Oh, I'll give you these $600 glasses. I'll give you this and that." He didn't want none of that. So what she did was she went and got a jersey and got it signed with Malik's autograph on it or whatever, and she gave it to him, and he was happy. He exchanged it. He gave her back the yo-yo for the signed jersey or whatever. And that was it. You know, she got that, and, you know, pretty much everything was it. But she ended up getting 2 calls, I believe, from her mom, but she never answered any of the calls from her mom. So she got to work on her family values and stuff. So that's that. That was pretty much it. And y'all know she's still running from her mama for real because of the financial burden that she's in. And you know you're in this financial burden. You're not trying to talk to your mama. So why didn't you go ahead and just save that money? Why is you upgrading this girl apartment when you owe over $900,000 to debt companies? I want her to get her priorities straight, girl. I want her to get them together real quick. But let's get to Malik and Jameson, right? Because I am loving Jameson's character. I am loving his character. Jameson is training right? He's training at the football player's gym. He ain't supposed to be there, but his homeboy, he know his homeboy, right? I think they went to school together or whatever. So he knows his homeboy. His homeboy lets him come into that gym to work out before the players get there. But because training camp is about to start, Jameson not going to be able to come there all the time. So we're going to have to figure that out. Later on, we see that Jameson is actually working as the assistant to Malik because Tasha got him that job, which I think is great because that's what Jameson needs to be around. He needs to be around Malik. He needs to be able to get to these meetings and just be. And Tasha knew what she was doing when she did that because he needs to be in the know. And in order for people to start seeing Jameson as a different person than how he's been portrayed to be in the media, they have to like be around him and stuff. So, and you know, it's going to work for his image. And then it's also going to work and help for his knowledge and the things that he learns. But one thing about Jameson is smart. He knows a whole lot. He knows a whole lot. He's very skillful with his hands. He's knowledgeable about like golf and not just football and other stuff. Like he's good. I love it. What I also love is Malik, right? First of all, Malik fine. Girl, that man, like in real life, Jose. Hey, Jose, how you doing? How you doing? Yeah, so Jose is fine, first of all. I love his, I love how he's still Malik, but at the same time, he's a more mature Malik. Y'all know Malik used to be immature, make jokes about everything. Nothing was ever serious, but the care that he takes for like Jameson and looking after him and I want to see him like, I'm like, come on, mature Malik. Like anybody else he would toss and throw away. But him bringing Jameson along, he knows what he's doing. He knows the assignment. He wants Jameson to be around to get privy to certain conversations, to basically be a sponge. Like he told him, I want you to be a fly on the wall. Don't embarrass me. Like, I love this new Malik. Like it's everything, right? So what's also interesting is he's still hallucinating. So the past few episodes we've seen where he thinks his friend Caleb is there. And y'all know Caleb passed away many, many years ago. But he's still hallucinating and still talking to Caleb. And I feel like it's going to come a time in this season where he's going to have to part ways with Caleb. I don't know when that's going to be. But Caleb doesn't seem to be a good influence on him, a good ghost influence, if that makes sense, girl. He don't seem to be doing a good job or whatever. So I feel like as Malik matures, as he grows, it's going to come a time where he's going to have to part ways with Caleb. Know that Caleb is always there. But Caleb going to have to fade into the background for real. Right? So then after all that is done, you know, because Jameson was at the house. He's worked on the TV chart. He done cleaned stuff. He done painted stuff. He's the handyman, the assistant. He's done a lot for Malik, right? Well, when he gets ready to go home, Malik was like, yo, I'll take you home. Now, Malik had got some girls coming over to the house. So he was ready to, you know, smash on some girls. So Malik still has that part of him. He hasn't settled down yet, right? So he decides to go and take Jameson home. When he takes him home, he takes him to a very rough side of town. And Jameson hops out the car and fakes like he's about to go to the apartment complex, but then walks the other way. When he thinks Malik doesn't see him, he walks the other way and goes and gets into a rundown car and lean back in the car with his headphones, like about to go to sleep, and came out his shirt and everything. So the boy is homeless. Girl, I said, I love this character y'all building up for him because he is going to be like a fave. Like, God forbid Malik and Tasha, like, don't come back to the show. But number one, like, they are the game, like, period. But if they were to not come back to the show, I could see the show continuing to carry on with Jameson possibly, because I'm going to want to know what happens with him. You know what I'm saying? Especially seeing him when he's down and out. And then I'm sure we're going to get a chance to see him as he rises. So loving all of that, right? So, yeah, Jameson. So when he was sleeping, he was about to go to sleep in the car, y'all. I'm talking the car had like maybe 2 or 3 tires on it. Okay, girl, it didn't have no rim on one of the tires. It was just like, I don't even know what you called it. I don't know if it was a ball. I don't know what it was, but the car wasn't going nowhere. So he was homeless, living out of a car. And that's when Malik turned around, because I'm like, where Malik going? You know, what is he doing? You know, he turns around. And the whole time Jameson was like getting out the car, thinking he going to an apartment complex and turning around and going to the other. Malik was watching him. And so he turned around, knocked on the door, like, yo, what you doing in here? Like, what's that? He was like, don't tell me you sleeping in here. And Jameson did not want to go. He was like, no, I'm okay. I'm good here. And I'm like, are you sure? Like, anybody could do something on that car. Anybody could bust on windows. Anybody could, I don't know if the doors are locked. I don't even know if the locks work on the damn car, but anybody could snatch you up out of there, rob you. Like, are you sure you good over here? So Malik was just like, you've been living in this car? Like, nah, dog. Like, just ask me if you could stay. And the first thing that came to my mind was like, Malik, you see how he living. He shouldn't have to ask you. You should just tell him what it's going to be. So then Malik says, nah, get all your SHI. Matter of fact, leave that here. He said, and come on and live with me. Like, come stay with me. I got enough spots in my house. Then he gonna tell me, so sometimes I sleepwalk. Make sure you out the way so I don't try and get you pregnant or something like that. And I was like, uh-oh, what? So you'll try to get him pregnant. It was weird. But all in all, it was great to see Malik step up for him and take him in. And I can't wait to see the evolution of Jameson and the evolution of Malik, because I feel like when it comes down to Malik wanting to own, when he wants to own the football team and stuff and how he moves, he relies on Caleb for his thoughts. But now that I think about it, I feel like Caleb is still kind of stuck in probably that mindset that he had when he passed away. That younger mindset. I don't know, but it's something that's off about Caleb that I'm not crazy about, and I would like to see him part ways with Caleb. And I feel like Jameson is going to help him do that, because I feel like Jameson is going to end up being his voice of reason at times, and Jameson is going to end up being his Derwin. Like, him and Derwin was tight. He would go to Derwin and Derwin would give him some sound advice, whether he wanted to take the advice or he didn't want to take the advice, even when Derwin was making dumbass decisions. So I feel like Jameson is going to be his Derwin and his sound of reasoning and helping him with his thought process. And I feel like actually Caleb may get jealous. And he's probably going to fade into the background, because when Jameson got ready to leave the house, Caleb was glad that he was leaving, because he said, it's something about him. He kills my buzz. Yeah, because he's mature. He's mature. He got a different energy about him. And he's alive and you're not. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. Overall, the game is on point, baby. I slick wish it was on TV so that it could get more viewers, more audience, more people talking about it. But, it is what it is. Y'all go ahead and catch the show over there on Paramount Plus. It'll be worth it. I promise you. That's all that I got. I'm your girl, Jamie. That's me. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share my videos. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.